classes. But yes, that was a workshop that I did for Cherokee Nation. And we wanted to showcase reels. Now, social media is very popular and posts do get out there, but we're seeing a trend shift to videos, right? And not long, lengthy videos,
Right.
but these short clips that tells you everything you want to know.
Welcome back to Legacy Insights, the podcast where we dive into stories, tips, and insights for life and business. I'm Christina Howard, here with my amazing co-hosts Franklin Morris and Joel McCorkle. Thanks for tuning in as we bring you another exciting episode of Legacy Insights. Let's get started.
And I'm really excited to introduce our guest today. Her name is Rebekah King. Rebekah and I have known each other for around 4-ish years or so. And I was at a Google Maps training that she was doing. She had a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, gave a lot of great information. And I know that she goes around to many different businesses to help them out. And she works at Northeast Tech. And can you tell us a little bit about you and your background and et cetera as well?
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I do work at Northeast Tech. I'm the business development trainer there. And a little bit about me, I am an entrepreneur by heart. And Christina knows me. I have had a little shop a few years ago. And Christina was very much an inspiration for my shop and helped me.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
She gave me so much insights. I would come and visit her shop and gather all these ideas of how to implement them in my shop. And she was just
very
a wealth of
like-minded.
knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was excited to see you and anyone step into doing something like that.
Yeah.
And you're just a natural. And then that grew into a whole nother thing.
A whole nother thing, because Christina had the same business model as myself, where she provided consignment options for other vendors. And that in itself is very similar to the type of business that Northeast Tech offers at the Grove Center, which is the incubator, right? And so just like the incubator at the Grove Center or Grove campus, it was a lot like our businesses, where we had little men and women that burnt the midnight oil creating a product, but all they needed was somebody that could cover the overhead and a place to go. And pretty much we provided the profit loss reports to them every month of what they were selling, what the overhead was going to come out, and at the end of the month what their net profit would be. And so with that kind of knowledge that I gained by doing retail, I kind of transformed into this position here as a business development trainer.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about the business incubator. I know we've seen some things online about it, but I have not actually been there. I need to go by and check it out sometime.
Yes, you're going to have to check it out, because we have a station with coffee, water. We also have snacks. We call it our little bistro area. But in addition to that fun area to eat and drink, but you have a station, or actually 5 cubicles that can be transferred into larger cubicles or et cetera, that you can rent for a small overhead or a small fee and use it as what I guess it's called an incubator, very similar to an incubator for a baby. You're new, you're a young business, and you're susceptible to the outside elements, and you need that protection. You need that place to land and can offset some of the costs.
Perfect name. So
Absolutely.
Tell me the types of businesses that take advantage of that.
Okay, so ours was more of a retail kind of world, right?
Yes.
This is a little different. These are going to be service-based companies, innovators that has a stellar product, the 3D machines. I know that we're about to get an IT guy. It's very secretive what he's doing. He can't disclose it, but all I know is it has to do with IT.
Very cool. So they come in and they use that space as their getting their business off the ground.
Yes,
Okay.
they use that space. And then also they have access to me, right? The business
Yeah.
development trainer. And my office is right next door to that incubator. So very easily they could just step outside their office. They could talk to me and use me as a soundboard. They also get to utilize all of the facility. For example, the printer, the internet.
Oh, cool.
And then we have a wonderful classroom that if they're an expert in their field, they can utilize that as a way to teach others. And I think Franklin even got to use it
Yes.
one time, and he taught a class saying
How fun.
Facebook post, how
Yes.
to create Facebook posts that people love.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was really fun to do that. And
Perfect for Franklin, for sure.
yeah, that's up my alley, and I think people enjoyed that. And I believe businesses need to know about how do you craft a Facebook business post people love. So I'm glad for the opportunity and the invitation to do that. And you were talking about access to you as well. So I think there are people that maybe know what they want to do, but then they might need to know about how do I do a business plan. And people have talked about having a 5-year plan and things like that. Do you help with that type of thing in the business incubator program?
Yes, sir. Outside of the incubator and inside the incubator, I help with business plans and any kind of resources that they need to get funding and et cetera.
That's awesome. Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that, they may be really good at what they do, but they don't understand the business side. And I think that's so huge. You tell them, look at your profit and loss, and they have no idea what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
that's awesome that they not only have the space available, but they also have the resources.
The resources. And that's the thing about Northeast Tech. We think it's a school, but actually it's a state resource there to help whatever goals or whatever way you define success. We're here to help you.
That's awesome. So how does a business go about qualifying or getting access to those resources?
So if you're an incubator prospect, you will then just apply through me or
Okay.
there at the campus. We have to go through a rigorous application process for the incubator only. And the reason why is because you get 24-hour access to the facility. And with that kind of power, we've got to do a background check, and we've
Right.
got to put you through the rigmarole to make sure
Absolutely.
that our facility be safe. But other than that, if the incubator, if you're not quite there where you outgrown your kitchen table and you're still at your kitchen table, you can still access resources like my business development program. It's $240 a year, so it's very low.
That is.
And mostly what we've settled into is we meet once a month. And what we can do is a curriculum that we outline, a strategic plan that we outline for the entire year, or a lot of my businesses, it is just damage control. We're putting out fires when we meet and then put those to bed and move on to the next month.
Get back in line. It sounds like someone that is wanting to start a business and maybe needs to approach a bank, doesn't know how to do a business plan, that type of stuff, that they could also benefit from spending some time with you and getting put on the right course.
Yes, that's correct. And I help with so many things, but I have a counterpart that we've hired that covers the area as well, and she specializes in QuickBooks. So with that,
Big deal.
yes, with that business plan, you get me, but you also get the expert in the financial bookkeeping side. And so if you are really wanting to, and you have these big goals, and you're wanting to utilize QuickBooks to showcase your projections or to see what exactly you have the ins and outs of your business, QuickBooks is the way to go. And we have a professional that can help you with that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very.
And you also have a lot of contacts with businesses because you are not just in Grove, but you have gone so many other places as well. And I think that people can really take advantage of your experience that you've had with these businesses as well.
Oh, yeah.
What areas do you serve across Oklahoma? Because I think people will find that surprising.
Yeah, I get a lot of windshield time, and you'll find out that I cover the 7 counties in Northeast Oklahoma. I just am office. We just got this newest office here in Grove. But other than that, I do cover the south side of Grand Lake. And one of our latest projects is some economic development project there in Veneta, where we're tapping into the historical side of Jefferson Highway, Route 66, and we just launched the Veneta Main Street. So whether it's small businesses or economic development, I've got my hands in it.
That is so exciting. What a gift to the community. And there's another thing that you're involved in that I've kind of like watching over the years, because I'm a big cheerleader for any women that wants to start up a business, big or small, which is kind of how we helped women within our boutiques also. You know, there's someone that's tiny and just wants to get a little foot in the door, but you're part of Rising Business Women. Now, did you found that?
So it was a collaboration of April, Barb, and myself, and we just wanted to give women an opportunity to network, right? And we wanted everyone. And we found that there was such a large group of women here in Grove that was seeking that same existence, that same networking type of system. And for 3+ years, it's been going strong. It's so strong that we started a South Grand Lake Women in
Wow.
Business.
That's awesome.
And those women have just taken, now in person, it's a great opportunity. But then it's so much more. There's also these community groups that was created for both of those women in business networks. And people are cheerleaders. These women are
That's right.
cheerleaders for each other. They launch ideas. They want to rebrand themselves. They pivot the whole team as a soundboard to help them decide in what direction they want to go with their business.
And sometimes you just need someone to be your cheerleader. So that's kind of one thing that business supports. And then I've seen a lot of social media posts, which is big, and it helps get the word out. So speaking of social media, I think that's something that marketing and social media that you're passionate about. There I go with that word again. But could you give us some insight into the role that marketing plays and what you think about that in business?
So marketing is my specialty. That's my wheelhouse. I was with 360 Grand Lake before I went to
Right.
Northeast Tech.
Yeah.
And what we specialized in is the events on Grand Lake. We did Aquapalooza, any kind of on-water events, and we also help small businesses. Through that, I realized that marketing is pretty much the power, and especially with COVID.
Yes.
Even saying that loud. But with that, it launched marketing to be even more important.
More important, yeah, absolutely.
And it's a way to showcase your brand, right? And it's also a way to showcase your specialty and your expertise. What better way to do that than on these free social media platforms? And if you're not utilizing social media or familiar with it, you're really missing out on an opportunity of growth.
Absolutely. Staying in front of someone's mind is so key. And that's right there. But a lot of people are scared about that. They don't know how to do it. They see all these things. They see reels, for example. And I saw that just recently you showed, okay, I'm here. It's Rebekah. I'm going to show you how I do a reel. And you just walked through and did that and gave a great example of how to do a reel. So is that the type of thing that you also teach people, or?
Yes. So you'll have to go to our website and see all the classes. But yes, that was a workshop that I did for Cherokee Nation. And we wanted to showcase reels. Now, social media is very popular and posts do get out there, but we're seeing a trend shift to videos. Right? And not long, lengthy videos,
Right.
but these short clips that tells you everything you want to know in such a little bit of time. And that's where we're at. Our ADD is just off the hook, right?
Yes.
We've got the 7-second
Give us a
attention.
few seconds.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Sum it up in a few seconds and I'm moving on.
moving on. But what's intimidating is putting your face out there. That's scary. But if you just get past that, you do it as a job, stop looking at yourself.
Yes.
Because you'll review that reels and look at and pick yourself apart. And I say just do it, right? And
And I
that's the
think
key.
people we are so hard on ourselves, but people like to see the business owner's face. They like to see it. It makes that business more real, and it ties just an emotional bond to people to want to support them.
Very.
It's not my own business, but I did a reel on Facebook recently for a new restaurant opening up in Anderson, Missouri. It's open now. It's called Honey Pops. It's on the creek of Indian Creek in Anderson, Missouri. Great location. Anyway, I did a reel, less than a minute, and it got 18,000 views.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So,
Well, you're a bit of an
the-
influencer yourself. I've seen your work.
but you're right that it's hard to get in front of that camera.
It
you
is.
know? But I just did a few seconds, 5 seconds in my car, and then the rest was there
Yeah.
on location.
Sometimes it's scary. Being a small business owner, we're competing against the big box stores, corporate America, where they've got great prices. They have a good supply chain, so they produce these low price items. And we can't do that. As a small
Right.
business owner, we cannot get ourselves painted in a corner of which we are paying for people to buy stuff from us.
Right.
And it's very
It has
easy
to be
get
more
there.
the experience too.
And so how do we differentiate ourselves from those big box stores? Well, we tell our story. And
Love that.
who's better at telling the story but you, right? So people want to hear it from you. They want to hear that authentication, that keyword everybody's saying, and so that they could buy into your brand.
And I think that's even more important in terms of stories right now, because there's AI and all of this that can share information, but AI does not have human experiences. So if you are talking from an authentic human standpoint with experience, then that actually, I think, will help people resonate with your stories and have connections that other things can't do. So
I think it's a good reminder too. I think a lot of small business owners get so busy doing their business that they forget, or they just put on the back burner the social media, and that's huge. But it's not a fire in front of them that they have to put out. So I
Exactly.
think that's a good reminder too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
A lot of my people, they forget to do marketing because they're making money, right? And we have to put it in our calendar to do a little tidbit to our followers.
And to that point too about money, because I know that a business has to make money to survive. So is there an actual business case to put yourself out there on social media, or is this just something that people do, but it doesn't really generate any type of money?
So there's definitely a strategy. I think that we have a class coming up that's creating content within 30 minutes. I think it is 30-minute content, where you kind of develop a strategy base of how are you going to plan out your content on your social media. Through that, if you just make it, and Meta Business Suite has so many opportunities and features in the app that you can sit down once a month, create all the content you need for your social media, and have an actual plan in place. We're going to have this day where we're really going to knock it out of the park with people loving our post. That's really not going to say much about us, but it's going to say everything about us and our dog. And then you're going to strategically plan these call to actions, right? I always tell people, you get a fun post within 24 hours, you get you a call to action so that you can generate leads.
That's great. That's so if someone wanted to sign up for that class, it sounds wonderful. I'm thinking I need to sign up for that because I need more structure. I already love it and I'm already doing it, but I'm lacking the structure, because fires, you get caught up in doing other things, and then all of a sudden it's like, sorry, I've been absent for a while, but today's the day I'm back. So how would someone sign up for that class? We've got your website pulled up here. Would that be one place?
That is,
go?
when you go to our website, you're going to see the whole Northeast Tech world. Okay. It's massive. We have, I think 7 campuses. We've got 1 in Claremore. We have 3, about to be 4 in Pryor. We have 1 in Little Kansas. We have 1 here in Grove. We have 1 in Afton. So it's massive. You're going to see 3 different types of classes available through our website. You're going to see the full-time classes that's available to the students. You're going to see the adult ed classes, and those are the fun basket weaving classes that we love. But then you're going to see business and industry. When you click on that, then you're going to get options to sign up for our business and industry classes.
So great resource. So many great things for businesses. And like that's an example of a free thing that you have going, the Rising Business Women. Is that free as well?
That's free as well.
That's free as well. So if someone wanted to reach out to you personally, what would be the best way for them to do that? Do you also have a separate social media page, or should they go through the Northeast Tech page?
So I'm Generation X, and I have no boundaries in place of how people can get a hold of me. So you're welcome to call my cell phone, 918-864-0883. You can email us. You could contact the school. Or if you're on Facebook, just get with me on Facebook and private message me.
Well, very approachable and reachable for sure.
Which I think that's how Christina got a hold of me.
Yes, yep, absolutely.
So,
yes.
So I know we're getting close to end of time, but what's one thing that you would recommend if someone was starting a new business? What's one piece of advice that you would give them? There's probably so many.
Yeah, there are so many. Do you love what you do? And if the question is yes, because of course they love what they do. That's why they're wanting to start a business. Well, you're no longer going to do it anymore once you start a business, because then your focus is going to go from doing what you love to making sure the business stays open so that you can sell it. Mm-hmm. And that's a shift, right? Like I loved creating things for people. I loved bringing women together. But when it came time to, at the end of the month of my shop, it was not about doing what I loved. It was about paying the bills and making sure my girls got their paycheck, and to make sure that I was adhered to the laws that was in place with my business. So that you shift from being the doer to being the person that's just making the whole thing go.
That's some real advice right there, and something that we don't talk about, because I think when you get an idea for a business, it's exciting and you think about the fun part and the things that you love. Mm-hmm. But then there's the other side. Yeah. Which is why they should contact you and help get on the path.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, how does someone make that shift? Or is it just about maybe mentorship, putting yourself in the right resources, like we're talking about connecting with Northeast Tech?
Yeah, be a mentor. But, I give that advice, but I have a picture in my office that is the definition of an entrepreneur, and it's someone that builds a plane on their way down, and that's okay too. It's okay to get out there and put yourself out there, put your business out there, and once you get into this field, you stumble and look around and think, wait, I might need some help. And that's okay too.
Before we wrap up, I want to say a little bit more about you personally, because you actually have an impressive background. We've talked about some of the businesses that you've been involved with, but what about your education? Can you share that real quick? So when people know that they're reaching out, it's pretty impressive who they're going to have having their back.
Yeah, so I don't really do much for fun.
You work.
I work. But so a little bit about my background. My undergrad is in marketing. My mentor while I was getting my undergrad is Dr. Gray, which was one of the women in the marketing of Quick Trip. And what she incorporated was a safe place with Quick Trip and the local firefighters or fire departments. So when she left Quick Trip, she came and was my mentor throughout my undergrad. From there, I went to the MBA program in Oklahoma Wesleyan, Bartlesville, and got an MBA in finance. And then right now, I am in a doctorate program for business.
That's awesome.
That is very impressive. You can tell where your heart is.
Yes, yes, I love it. It's my people,
Yes.
my eclectic business owners is what I call them.
That's great. And such a wide variety of things that are really important to small businesses that you can help with, which
Small
is
businesses,
amazing.
nonprofits, everybody, we need
Awesome.
this.
Very cool.
Well, any more questions before we wrap up?
Well, is there anything else that you could say, like that people might not know about what they can get from this business, industry, and services place? I know someone had contacted you, for example, and was wondering if they could have the same name. They were in one state and they were thinking if that they could transfer that name to Oklahoma, and then you knew what the website to look at and things like that, and help them right on the spot there. But there are things like that people might not realize that you can help with.
Yes, thank you. Startups, or whether because we live in this Northeast Oklahoma, so there's a lot of doing business in Missouri and Oklahoma. So there's a lot of questions on how does that look as a business owner. But no, I can help if you just got the idea and you're wanting to get the LLC going or wanting to move forward and becoming legal. I help you with that as well. You're wanting to just pivot and change the geographical area that you are targeting. I can help you with that too. So it's just a whole umbrella of all the business development needs that I can cover.
Awesome. What a great resource. And I think that a lot of new businesses need to reach out and utilize some of these things. So that's incredible.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, and a very special thank you again to our guest, Rebekah, and to our co-host and William behind the scenes. We appreciate you watching Legacy Insights, and be sure, if you're watching us on YouTube, to hit the subscribe button and the bell. That will let you know when we upload more videos like this. It's helpful to small business owners or business owners of any size, and also some in-depth interviews with other businesses. We have some exciting ones coming out really soon. And if you're on Spotify, be sure to follow us on there as well. Thank you.